Hey guys, we're back with another video. This video is basically gonna cover all the things that I really like about this car. I'm not gonna say like the top 5 things or top 10 things, because I like a lot of things about this car. And for you guys who are interested in getting a Model 3 or a Tesla, you know, I think this video would be super helpful. So I guess the first thing that I gotta talk about is the sheer looks of this car. I mean, at first when the Model 3 came out, I was like, I think it's kind of ugly, but I don't know, it grew on me, as do most cars, and I think that's sort of why these designers get paid so much, because they know what they're doing. But man, this car looked beautiful, but with the limo tint we got going on over here and the reflection of the sun, man, it looks really good. So if you guys are interested in getting a limo tint, looks wise, I definitely do it. Functionality, it's there. Kind of got to get used to it though. But again, I mean, oof, looks so good. The second thing I love about this car is just how much it makes sense. I mean, keep in mind the car's locked right now. As you can see, the mirrors are folded in. I have my phone here. It's in my pocket though. But you know, the car just knows if you're in proximity to the vehicle, you just come up to it, open the door, and it unlocks. Boom, it's unlocked, you're ready to go. And then if I walk away from the car, it'll lock by itself. Keep in mind, my hand's here, the other hand's holding the camera. Boom. I don't know if you can see that, but it locked. So just not needing a car key, just needing your phone. I mean, I don't think you can do that with any other car in today's market. Another thing I was sort of iffy about in the beginning was the simplicity. You know, you really just have a screen right here and a steering wheel, 2 knobs, gear selector, and the wiper blades and whatnot, and turn signals. But really, this car has everything you need. Oil change? What's that? Has a low center of gravity because of the battery and all that, it being an electric car. And it feels very planted, and especially around turns, you know, I don't feel that much body roll. And this is coming from my experience with sports cars. Like, my brother has a M340, you know, I've been in M cars, and the handling of this car feels very similar, and I don't even have like the sport wheels or anything like that. The second thing that I really like about this car is the ride. Now, this car being the LFP car, which looks like it's going to be a rare car. I don't know if Tesla's going to fully go to the LFP battery pack, but it's the suspension. You know, it has the long range suspension because the LFP battery is heavier, but the car just rides so smooth. And now I don't know if that's like all Model 3s. I mean, I've definitely test drove a NCA Model 3. In my opinion, the car was the ride was a little more rough. It still was a pretty good ride, but no, this one is just amazing. And as you can see, we're taking these canyon roads, so I hope you guys enjoy the view. But yeah, the handling, the suspension, I mean, this car was just built very well. Autopilot and all that. Sometimes you really do feel like you're riding in a cloud for what, sub 40 grand. So I mean, they're just really killing it with this car. And as you guys can see, if you were to order one of these today, you have to wait till March, which means the demand is super high. Everybody wants this car. No one wants to pay these outrageous gas prices, especially here in California. I think like the average price of gas is maybe like $4.50, so it's like really crazy. But yeah, man, the ride, the seats is what sold it for me. I mean, you guys really have to sit in a Tesla to understand. The seats are super comfortable, definitely more comfortable than, again, most BMWs or Mercedes that I've been in, where, you know, it might feel comfortable the first second you sit down, but then as you drive off, it's like, man, this seat's kind of stiff. But no, Tesla killed it with these seats, especially the white interior. I mean, this is like a showstopper in my opinion. But yeah. Another thing that I love about this car is the sheer visibility. I mean, as you guys can see, there's a big, like, sort of panoramic sunroof. Obviously it doesn't open, so I don't know if you can really consider it a sunroof, but you could just really if you really, really, really wanted to, just close off all your windows, sleep in the car, look at the sky. Another thing I love about this car is the power delivery. You know, a lot of electric cars like the Mach-E and whatnot have problems with the acceleration and all that kind of stuff, but this car is just, it's so linear. You just press on the gas and it goes, you know, it'll throw you back in your seat. You know, it gives you that feeling of like, man, this is a very fast car. Again, for sub 40 grand. I mean, you can't get this from any other car. I mean, it sort of gives you that same push that you get from, you know, a lot of sports cars, BMWs, Mercedes, whatnot. And this car doesn't even try. It's an SR Plus. You get a long range, with the acceleration boost, or you get a performance, and you're killing everything, you know, like, that's just the future of electric cars. You have sort of this instant torque. You don't have to wait for the engine to rev up. You don't have to wait for the switch of gears or whatnot. Like, this car just goes. And that's one thing that I just love about this, because sometimes, you know, you'll be on the freeway, or, you know, you're just trying to have fun, and the car will just take off. So that's one thing I really love about this Model 3, and it's something you guys just have to experience, whether it be through a test drive, whether it be sitting in someone else's car. You just need to really feel this to understand what I'm talking about. It's not even like the top, it's the top. You know, they have the safest cars on the road. So, you know, you want to get this car for your kid, or you just want a car that's safe, this is a car for you. So, you know, by sort of looking at all these metrics, you know, cost of ownership, not having to pay for gas, this being one of the safest cars on the road, you know, the car being quick when it needs to be quick, having plenty of visibility. I mean, somehow Tesla just killed it by sort of addressing all these critical points that us car buyers are sort of looking for when purchasing a vehicle. So, you know, this demand that we're seeing right now with Teslas and electric cars, I think it'll last for the next like few years. So if you guys are like really interested in getting a Tesla and you're like, ooh, I don't know if I can afford it, you know, the upfront cost will definitely be more, you know, no doubt. But when you look at cost of ownership, I mean, I'd argue that this car is cheaper to own over, like, let's say 3 to 4 years than, let's say, a cheap $20,000 Volkswagen, or, you know, other cars that will get killed by depreciation, they'll get killed by maintenance, they'll get killed by obviously having to pay for gas. You know, I think for me, the gas thing was sort of the biggest factor that really I took into account when going electric, because again, in California, having to spend $4.50 a gallon, which again is an average, it could go up, it could go down, probably will go up, it just kills your pockets. Personally, you guys might be interested in this, but I charge for free, and I'm more than happy to sort of make a video on, you know, how I get free charge, because even though charging is about a quarter of the price of filling your car up with gasoline, it's free for me, you know. And you guys can definitely find free charging solutions near you if you sort of look for it, if you want to look for it, you know. And my goal with this car is sort of to show people that it's affordable to own a Tesla, and it's affordable to sort of own an EV, and it's not as expensive as many people think. So I'm trying to get you guys in a Tesla, and, you know, just follow along. All you need is a screen, because, I mean, look at our iPhones, it's just a screen, and it's more capable than a computer almost. But it has basically everything you need. You know, you have these two controls on the steering wheel. You know, probably what you guys would be using it for is sort of volume, going to the next song, stuff like that. I know this knob over here will adjust your autopilot speed. And it'll also maybe help you navigate through your console, or if you're playing games and whatnot. But the knob on the left can control the volume of your music, and it can also help you like navigate through your songs. So that's awesome. If you want to look through sort of the most common controls, in my opinion, it's the first thing that I always click on, if I can get through these massive water bottles right now, is the air conditioning. So the thing that I thought was the coolest about this Tesla was the AC controls, because, you know, you don't have your traditional vents, and so, you know, what are you supposed to do? And all you really do here, you can see they have an animation for how the air is blowing, and you can just with your finger, change the direction of the vents. You can go down, up, side to side, and it's functional, and it kind of does make more sense than having your traditional vent. Another thing that you guys might look for on this, because it's literally a TV screen, is the cameras. And so while you're driving, you can sort of monitor the cameras. It's crisp, clear, it's a big screen, if you're backing up and you manage to hit something, props to you, because that's nearly impossible with a screen of this size. But it just really puts other car manufacturers to shame. But as you can see, Benz with their new S-Class, BMW, what the new vehicles are coming out with, they're trying to sort of copy Tesla in a sense by going to sort of a bigger screen and less controls. And ultimately that's going to be the future of automobiles and electric cars, because you don't need buttons anymore. And it actually can be an inconvenience, because you're like, oh, I can't see where the button is, or with time, how buttons sort of wear out. And guys, another thing that I really like is the fact that this car has wireless charging. I don't know, again, it's not specific to Tesla's. Other car manufacturers definitely have wireless charging, but it's as easy as just taking your phone and putting it right here. And as you can see, there's two wireless charging slots, and they go to work. Car also, because of its simplistic design, Tesla managed to create, a good amount of storage space in the center console. Another thing that's really nice about this car is sort of, how Tesla uses double pane windows now on their cars. It's just so quiet in this cabin. And, at times, honestly, it's kind of weird, because it's like, you can't hear anything and you're on a public road. But it's just incredible how Tesla can sort of fit all this technology in a car that's, again, sub 40 grand. Most people would think like, wow, is that car, is that a like $60,000 car, $70,000 car? Most people who hear like, oh, you own a Tesla, think you're rich, but you don't have to be rich. I'd say this car costs the same as like a brand new Toyota Prius, just about. Or this car costs less, honestly, than like your standard 3 Series or 4 Series, like your 328, your 428, and those cars are pieces of garbage, honestly. Those cars end up in a junkyard within 5 years. So, people thinking like this is a super duper expensive car, it's really not. Guys, let me know if you're interested in this camera angle or not. I just sort of slapped it on there so you guys can sort of see what's going on, but definitely give me some sort of feedback in the comment section, and I'd be happy to sort of change the camera angle. The acceleration on this car is just killer. For a standard range plus, keep in mind this car comes with the performance motor. Obviously the suspension's upgraded. The battery pack, it's a newer battery pack, so I don't know how the power delivery is with this new battery pack. But in this straight line, if I just accelerate, it for one sounds like a spaceship, and it feels like one too. Especially for someone who, I've been in sports cars and fast cars, so I can't imagine how this feels for someone who, hasn't experienced that. So, I think probably the Plaid, being the fastest car Tesla's ever produced, is probably scary fast and unnecessarily fast. But I hope you guys like this video. We'll have another video shortly on things we didn't really like about the car, but this video basically covered all the things we really love about this car. And if you guys have any sort of comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to give us some sort of feedback, and we'll get back to you guys as soon as we can. This LFP SR Plus has been amazing so far. We've owned the car for about a month, and we have absolutely no complaints. So if you guys are really interested in getting a Model 3, you should literally get on it now, because the wait times are pushed back to June. So that's like 7 months from now, which is pretty crazy.